Happy Monday. What is it, October 10th, 2022? And I say that just so that I can get myself, I think I'm right on that. Don't take my word for it. I don't really know. Today is one of those days. The energy is really, really wild for me. I'm coming in because I know that when I'm struggling with the energy that it is usually universal. I'm pulling in and transmuting, and so feeling out of sorts. And so I'm going to bring that here because instead of hiding, which I'm really good at, I've always been good at being invisible. Instead of hiding these things, I think it's important that we reach out right now. So I gave absolutely no warning at all. Just popped in out of the blue. My face, I'm tired. I'm really tired, but I want to be authentic. And every so often I just decide I'm going to just do it. I'm going to be as authentic as I can today. And I'm going to talk. Hi, Carol. And we're just going to go, whatever it is that is playing with us today. I don't know if you're feeling the same way, Carol. It's like, man, there's a heavy energy. It's very strange today. So I think that I'm going to start doing this every day, even when I don't want to. Today is one of those days when I'd like to hide myself and just stay in my little cocoon and not be vocal at all. But we're all going through this, and we need to be going through this together. There needs to be more authenticity with me. With, as far as I'm concerned, sorry, I'm getting messages after messages. I think that as light workers, we have this mistaken idea that everything is going to be perfect. Everything is good. We're light workers. We're here. We're advancing very quickly. We have days when we feel like we can walk on water. We'll have a day like that. We might have 2 or 3 in a row, which is awesome when that happens. And many times we'll have those big dips that follow. Either we're hitting the dip and we come back out on the other side and we feel like we can fly, or we go through a few days of flying and then all of a sudden we go right back into that roller coaster ride. So that's why I'm here today. I am not some kind of guru that sits here in a perfect place and everything is just easy. I see people sometimes when we're a big social network kind of crowd, and we have these people that we watch that seem like they've just got it all together. Do you ever do that? I'm a people watcher. I'm like, how did they got it so well together? And my world just goes from this ride all the time. As soon as you think, if you're like me, you think, oh, I've got things going pretty well, and then it'll kind of crash again. And we're in this energy. Literally, we have to, I think the most important thing that's been coming to me is that we need to stop being so hard on ourselves. Stop beating ourselves up for those days when we struggle. We are still in physical form. We're advancing so quickly. We're coming more and more into that place of it's easier to bring in the energy of the true self, the higher self. And so you're in that space where you're like, whoa, this feels so good. But no matter who you're watching, you've got certain people that you follow that might be channelers. They're very wise beyond their years. We all have that part of us that's very wise. Hi, Tammy Maxine. We all have that part of us that's very wise that we can tap into. And I'm so grateful to that side of me that will assist with the little child in me or the very egoic side of me that seems to get stuck in these patterns of negative energy. Right now, because the other half of that is because we are in an energy and we are transmuters of a lot of negativity. There's a lot that's coming up out of the earth right now. And so not only are we dealing with our own stuff, we're also dealing with the collective consciousness. We're dealing with the earth herself. I know Carol and I have been working a lot with that. If you're one of these people, and likely all of you that watch me are, you're very connected to the earth. Oh my gosh, I go out in these mountains and I'm like in heaven. And my whole aura, everything about me, as soon as I get out there and I'm in the green and I'm sitting on a rock, everything about me comes back. Hi, David. It comes back into alignment. I feel grounded. I feel settled. And if I could be out there all the time, just sitting on a rock, watching the water come down off the mountain, not having to deal with everyday life, everything would be great. But I'm still like you, we're physical. And while we're here in this energy, as much as we hear about enlightenment and we hear about, the soul's advancing and all of these things, it's so important to remember that we are still physical. We're still here. And we still have to deal with all this stuff that's going on around us. And so we go from this super high and then back to, oops, I'm still 3D. And then we're up here again because, and that's really my point, because we're getting so good at moving into that higher frequency, that it feels so good to be there. It's like I feel myself in heaven. I truly, it's got to be really close to the extent that my body, my physical self will allow me. When I get into that place, it's absolute, pure, perfect love. And it has to be as close to heaven as any of us can get. And then, we step out of the woods, we step into the Walmart or wherever we're going, or we sleep at night and we're all doing all this work while we're sleeping. We're clearing negative energy from within us, from the earth, from wherever. And we wake up the next morning and we're just loaded full of this energy that then we're just like molasses energy. It's like, how do I get this to move away from me? How do I lift this? Do I have to run back out to the woods? That's what I do. I have to get out in nature. I have to get my feet back on the earth in order to transmute. So what I'm trying to give to you today is that please be more forgiving of yourself. Please, we are so programmed to find fault for ourselves, on ourselves. Like we can forgive other people for being in a bad mood. We can forgive other people for grumping or doing what they're doing. It's easy for most of us to find that forgiveness or the kindness or compassion for those that are around us. But when we are stuck in those deep, dark places ourselves, we don't have as much compassion for ourselves, do we? We don't forgive ourselves for having bad moods. We don't forgive ourselves for, walking or taking a drive downtown. Somebody cuts us off in traffic and we start, getting not so kind, saying things or feeling this energy that's not so nice. We are a combination here. We're growing into our wings, right? We're growing into that part of us that's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. But we're still surrounded by many, many beings that are not going through that same, they're not aware of that transition. And it's so easy to pick up the baggage. Hi, Charlie. Hi, Rosemary. It's so easy to pick up the baggage, isn't it? We're like out there and somebody, you pass by somebody and all of a sudden you get this, I don't feel so good. Because you've taken on somebody else's mood. When you're out in public, there's so much crazy stuff going on in the world. And for those who don't know about this transitional phase, they don't know what their bodies are going through. They don't understand that they can look beyond the 3D. They're so stuck, right? And this is all I've got. That creates this energy of like the kindergarten child that doesn't want to share their toys. They brought a favorite toy in for show and tell, and wow, they really love that toy. And when the other kids look at it longingly and they want to touch it, you go, what? No, taking my toy and going home with it. There's an energy of that on the planet right now. These are my toys. Don't anybody touch my toys. We got to build borders and walls. We got to do all these things. We don't want to share. And for these sensitive souls, that's all of you, I'm sure, it's a very difficult place to be. This earth is very difficult because as an advanced soul, as one that has done this game many, many times, the toys aren't as important anymore to you. Yes, you still want to be able to take care of your home and your family, but as far as having to, try to create more and try to hold on too tightly and to try to control. Control is a big thing. It's, we're in a phase of letting go. These things are not that important. You can feel that in yourself. It's not that important. We have limited time here. We are only here for a little while. our physical lifetime it's flying by. The days and the moments are going by so quickly now. And so for me, my focus is more on, I just want to be with those people that I love. I want to be around the people that I'm comfortable with. I'm an alien on this planet. I've never fit. And so it's very difficult for me when people say, I got this going on, would you come to this? Or I got that going on. And I'm like, but if I go to that event, I've got to put on my costume. It's like a masquerade ball all the time. And so I'm in that phase of wanting to just be in solitude, be with people that get it, allow me to take off my big heavy cloak and just be this big heart that I am. And then I walk downtown and I'm going right through all these people that are so oblivious to each other. Do you see what I'm saying? There's such a contrast. It's a difficult time. So that's why from the beginning of this, when I stepped in, it was like, okay, I'm going to start coming in. Maybe every day again, if I can. I do have some days when I can't. But I'm going to start coming in because the biggest reason is that we need to create a community where we can get together with one another and feel safe and feel as if we're heard and understood. And I haven't fully launched it. I haven't fully figured out how I'm going to do it yet, but I'd love it if people wanted to join me. Just, we're just getting together so that we can be a voice, we can be a place where other people can see, oh, there are some of my people. That's my tribe. I want to go spend time with them. And we can just be in a place together. And I hope that sounds comforting to all of you. I wish it could be a physical place. That's my dream, is to create a physical place where we can all gather. But for now, if we're still on this social network stuff, I need and you need, we all need to reach out to each other. Those of us who are here to do this work, we need to be here for each other right now. This is not a time to try to go it all by yourself. Yes, it is a time to try to separate yourself from all of this third dimensional experience. That's a good word. It is a good time to learn how to say no. It's a good time to learn how to create boundaries for yourself so that you can, without guilt, I'm speaking for myself because I was invited to a picnic today and I feel so guilty for not being there because I needed this downtime for me. I needed this time for just my tribe to come here with all of you and say, I know I can be me with you. I know that I can be in this place of taking off that heavy cloak and be completely honest and what's a good word? Translucent, transparent is a good word. And then I want you all to know that you can be that way too. That yes, you got to go to work or you got to go to these functions. You got to do things out in the world. You got to go get groceries. God forbid, got to go get groceries. But you can still be here. We can still find time. So I haven't figured out the full. Yeah, Charlie, I believe that. You pulled the transformation card yesterday. Realization, life change, and liberation. Do you know how awesome that sounds to me? Realization, life change, liberation. Liberation, freedom. Freedom has been the biggest word. I don't want anything anymore. I don't want a house. I don't want stuff. I just want freedom. Like my soul is longing to just be in places where I feel at home, with people that I feel at home with. And I hope that you guys are relating to that, because I feel like that's my reason for being here today. Good morning, Lisa Kessler. Happy birthday, by the way. Tammy, the difference between being in the world and being of the world, exactly. Right, we're in the world, we don't need to be of the world. I knew you guys would get it. I knew you would understand. Carol Ann, I came out of one of my favorite places. Oh, that lane of old maple trees. I started crying walking down. I bet. They're all dying. Oh my goodness. I can't even imagine. So, You know, it's funny, Carol, that you start talking about this because I was watching a show yesterday about trees, and I think a lot of you, I can't remember the name of it, but it's about the communication of trees and how scientists are beginning to realize that trees are alive, that they are like a sentient being, really, the way that they communicate with each other, the way that they assist in the small trees, the mama trees, which is, I'm always saying, I go out in the forest and I look for the mama tree and I give her a big hug every time because I know how hard she's working. So here too, I can relate with you so much because we have a park right here, right near me. I'm right outside of the Smoky Mountain National Park, but there's a park here, and they've been working on updating it, putting in all kinds of new sidewalks, and I thought they were finally done. They were done cutting down trees. They planted new trees, and I thought, well, it's all right. It's nice walking trails. I had to get over my grief of trees being cut down, and I finally did. I have a favorite place. There's a beautiful little bridge that's up like this down, and it goes right over the water. I've put it on video before with you guys on Go Lives. There's a big rock right by that bridge, and it was one of my favorite places. I'd go sit, there was this huge 3-pronged tree right behind the rock. It was one of my favorite places to go. And last week they started making more changes, and they cut that tree down. And it was like, every time I walk by it now, I'm just like, I'm broken. I think they're putting another bridge over the water, but they cut down 4 or 5 mature trees in order to do this. And it looks like, I can't even describe it. It's so painful to look at that, to think that they cut down these trees that were 100 years old so that they can build a bridge. It's mind-boggling to me. And this is what I mean about going out into the world. People don't understand. They don't understand that connection to the earth and the sensitivity that we are becoming more and more sensitive all the time, aren't we? And so when we walk out there, when I walk out in the woods, I'm talking to the trees. And I talk to the little dragonflies and the butterflies and the little wormies that sometimes get on you and whatever. Sometimes I'm talking to the gnats that are trying to dive by my eyes. Maybe not so nicely, but I'm still talking to them. I feel so connected these days. And the more connected we get, the more sensitive we get. And the more sensitive we get, the more this world seems to hurt, doesn't it? And when we go out and then we see trees dying or people cutting them down, it's so difficult. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Lauren. And so I say this often, and I mean it. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I can't thank you enough for being a part of my life, because the people that come to me when I do these things are the ones that help me to remember who I am. We are powerful beings. We are not pawns. We're not just these little lifeboats sitting out on the sea and the sea's just pummeling us. We are very powerful creators. And along with this high sensitivity comes that realization that it's time. It's time to use what we've been given. It's time to use whatever we're so concerned with. And I am just as guilty as anyone. I get so concerned with day-to-day things that I've got to take care of sometimes. And I get so concerned with, oh, maybe I can't do this or can't do that. Or I'm like, I'll let myself get into the worries of everyday stuff. And then at some point this past week especially, my guides were like, what are you doing? That stuff is there, but it's not even real. You're going to slide on through it. I promise. You've made it through worse. You'll get through this too. But you are here for a purpose. Your energy is so important. And if you allow yourself to sit in worry and concern and fear all the time, you're actually a part of the energy that is this 3D mentality still. You have bounced back into that third dimension. It's that roller coaster ride that I was talking about at the beginning. You are the controller. You're the creator of the roller coaster. And so do you want to continue doing this all the time and go, oh, now I'm way down here and I got to go find my way back out again? Or do you want to say, okay, yes, we've been working on this for a couple of years. We know you got to feel it to heal it. We understand that. We don't want to bypass. We don't want to bypass all of this heaviness that's coming up. But we are beyond the point of being able to spend hours and days and months on healing a certain thing. We need to get it. They're pushing it like that tube of toothpaste. You need to bring it up Don't keep shoving it back down. Bring it up, acknowledge it, love on it, because our egos just want love, and then allow it to come with you up into a higher frequency. Grab a hold. Call on your angels. Call on whoever. Call on a loved one. Whoever can help you pull that and take it with you into the light. Bring it up. Don't leave it in the dark. You just can't. You can't just say, well, I'm busy right now. I don't want to take care of that right now. I'm going to shove it back down in this little box right here. And then this one I'm going to put over in that little box, and I'm going to keep on filing my stuff away. Unfortunately, it's not behooving you or anyone else to have all those boxes sorted of all these deep, dark things that you got going. And I'll tell you right now, most of what we've got going, see, like we've been working on our grief and we've been working on our pains and our fears and things like that. I will tell you right now that the biggest thing that probably most of you, and I know for me, the biggest energy draw that I've got going is guilt. Guilt, shame, blame. If you can start to see yourself differently, if you can bring yourself into the light, if you can learn to love yourself so much, and instead of looking at that, like think about what you do sometimes. You go, you're always looking backwards. So something happens and you go, oh, I remember when I faced this before, and that's how it turned out. And then you create it again. We were talking about this the last time, I think. We'll continue to create our old circumstances because we keep going back to them. So you have to see yourself in a new light. That's where it gets, that's the new change here. You need to see yourself in a new light. You need to see yourself as the creator that you are. You are a miracle walking the streets. You are a miracle when you're in Walmart. You are a miracle when you're out in traffic. You're a miracle when you're sleeping. You're always a miracle. You are one of those old souls. You're a very old soul. You're very wise. You're filled with beautiful energy that creates worlds. I don't care if you're 10 years old or 99. If you're here and you choose to watch this, you're an old soul. And you've come here with this amazing energy. And the job now is to put yourself in that place of, wait a minute, what am I? I am not this little body. I am not this little stressed out, damaged child or damaged adult or whatever it is, however you're relating with your own self. Yes, you still got those, but it's time to close that book. Again, I'm going to keep repeating that. It's time to close that book of all those things. Yes, people have done horrible things. They do. They abuse us. They mistreat us. Little bitty sensitive kids, we got victims across our forehead. We're little pockets of love, and they're just like, well, we got to snuff that out. Especially siblings. Have you ever noticed that? They're just like, my siblings really didn't want me much. They don't want me around much. So, but I'm not that little child anymore. I'm not powerless. I'm not a victim. I chose to have those experiences. I'm taking responsibility for the people and the experiences that I pulled into my life. I did this because I needed to remember who I was. Because I needed to be able to get on the same level with everyone else. So I'm here, and I have experienced trauma, and I have experienced abuse and neglect and all those things, and that is my story that I created to help me to empathize and have compassion. But it is not who I am. Can you repeat that after me? That is not who I am. I am that I am that I am. I am a powerful creator. And I create forests in the platypus, for those of you that know me well. And I choose to allow myself to come back into that light. I choose to lay down guilt, shame, blame. It's very crazy the way that we can be. Other people will mistreat us or abuse us or take from us or whatever it is. And because we are very empathic and very sensitive, we tend to always take the blame. Something could have happened on the other side of the planet and you feel guilty about it. Tell me. I know that that's not what you do. I've done it my whole life. Everything is my fault. When Steve got really sick, I looked at him and I was like, this is my fault. I know this is my fault. And he was like, how could this be your fault? And I'm like, I don't know, but I know it's my fault. See, that's the way that we're wired. Please hear me. We're wired to always feel like everything is our fault. And so therefore we take the blame for everything, and we feel guilty, and we have shame that is not our own. So if I could, and the angel's energy just came in when I said that. Let me see if they can, because what they really want you to hear today is that shame, blame, guilt no longer has a purpose for you. It no longer serves you in any way. It is time for you to remember who you are. It's time for you to look in those eyes and say, I know who I am. I know who I am. I am not just this body. I don't need to be ashamed of who I am or what I look like or that little fat roll or that little zit or whatever it is. Whatever it is. It is just the packaging. My grandmother, this is fun. My grandmother used to, I love how she comes in sometimes. Thanks, Grandma. When we were small, she didn't like to buy wrapping paper. She just never really saw any use for it because we had the Sunday papers. And she always wrapped our presents in newspaper, in the colorful ones from Sunday, usually. I shouldn't have them. She'd use the black and white. But she almost always, most of my childhood, she wrapped our gifts in newspaper. And it made perfect sense. We're just going to tear it up anyway. Why spend a bunch of money on it? That is who we are too. This is just my newspaper. It's just my wrapping. What I am, the gift that we are, is inside of the wrapping. So don't give so much power to what people think of what's on the outside, what's in the skin suit. Don't give them power. Don't give away your power in any way. If they're talking behind your back, they may not be talking about you, and it doesn't matter if they are. It doesn't matter. They might be saying something good, for all you know. So don't let them take your power in any way. Yes, we're here to spread love. You're exactly right. Joy and compassion. And everything else that happens in between. You know, it's funny because we can get ourselves all worked up over things. You know, crazy little things that we've been worrying about all our lives. But the truth is all of this passes away. All of it's gone. You know, it seems like such a big deal in that one moment that you're in it. And then a week later, you're like, don't even remember. You don't even remember because it's really not that important. It's not the one thing that is real in this existence is who you are in here. Who you've always been. You might have multi-yous, and the most important of every one of them is your heart. It's the truth of who you are, that being of light. And so get back to that. See yourself. If I could take you, we'll go into a meditation real quick, and I only want you to see yourself in one way. And I hope that you'll join me in this, because I just want you to see yourself the way that the angels and your guides see you. That's what they want you to have today. That just came through. Charlie, recognize life changes as blessings rather than challenges. Exactly. It's all in our perception, isn't it, Charlie? If we perceive it as something that's not so good, it's torture. This earth can be not so much fun, but sometimes if we can just change the way, sit down and get quiet and go, okay, yeah, these are all kind of scary things that are going on right now, but what are they trying to do? Because every one of my changes has redirected me. Just let it redirect you. Don't cling so tightly. You know, you get on that life rope and you're holding on and your hands are bleeding. And you're like, I want to keep everything. The ego likes to keep everything the same. It feels safe, even if it's not even good. 20 years in an abusive marriage because it felt safe to me, I guess. You know, and I clung to it with everything I had until finally one day I said, okay, I got to let it go. I got to let it go. And my life got better. I found Steve. You know, like we just have to keep on moving and letting go and just releasing. The best word today, my word for the day, and I hope you'll all just put it across your forehead, is surrender. Just surrender to it. Whatever it is that's getting at you today, just surrender. Sometimes we can't fix things. And the beautiful thing is we don't really have to. We have this amazing team, each one of us. And even if things don't suddenly appear and get all better, it's okay because you feel better. And that's really what it's all about in the first place, right? You only want to feel loved. You only want to feel safe. You want to feel secure. You want to feel that sense of home. You can feel that in any given moment, no matter where you are, because it's already who you are. So just allow yourself to be in that energy for a few minutes. Hi, Linda. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's go in for just, I've got a nice little group here. I love that you guys joined me because I jumped in out of the blue. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss anybody. I kind of jumped in out of the blue because I was just like, okay, I'm like that. But I will try to be more on a schedule from now on. Fall is all about, you're exactly, fall sure is all about letting go. It really is. Oh, look at those. I sit there and I watch over the water. How many times do you sit by the water and the trees start to drop their leaves and there's a little gentle breeze and you watch the leaf as it's coming down, just floating on down, and then it lands in the water, and then I just watch it as it goes on. It floats on top of the water and it'll go around rocks, and what an adventure that little leaf is on. So remembering that for us today. It's time, if things are starting to, seems like your world's kind of crumbling apart, maybe it's crumbling together. Maybe it's just shifting you to a new normal, a new place to be, a whole new energy of life. I love the word shift. We're just shifting. We're okay. Even the greatest lesson that Steve ever gave me is that when he left physical, he didn't die. He just shifted. He just shifted out from one form to another. That's all we're doing. So don't take it so seriously. And for God's sake, please, please give yourself the love that you deserve. Let go, let go. All right, for just a minute, let's put your feet down. I'm just going to take you on a little journey. I'm in a magical mood today, so watch out. I've been into my pirates. I'm starting to write again. As Carol said, I need to write an Anchor Light too. That's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be all about this captain, writing from this perspective, but I've always been all about the pirate ship and the fun and the imagination, so I'd love to take you there today. And I want you to experience the way that they see you. So that's where this is going to take us, okay? So allow yourself to just be still for a minute. It'll only take a minute. I won't take much more of your time. You put your feet down, and I want you to imagine, with your eyes closed, I want you to look at your feet. This sounds funny, doesn't it? Close your eyes. Take a big breath. Imagine that your feet are on a sandy shore. Feel that sand under your feet. It's like, it's kind of squishy and wet because the tide has just gone back out. Remember that kind of cool feeling? Where it's almost like you're on a sponge and your feet just kind of sink down in. And you just stand there for a minute. I can see the ship. We've come in. We got into a little boat and we came in off of the ship. And so now we're standing on the shore just trying to get our sea legs back. So you might feel a little wobbly here. It's okay. If you want to, you can sit down on the sand. There's a sun shining over your face. It's just coming up. Beautiful sunrise, all pink, coral colored. Maybe a little light purple mixed in. And that sun is so yellow and so beautiful. There comes the energy. Now I want you to feel that earth energy coming up through your feet. And as you're just standing there, sitting there, however you've settled in, allow that energy to just wrap around you. She is giving you, Mother Gaia is giving you this warm embrace. So she comes in and she just wraps beautiful energy around you, allowing you to be still. She's calming you down. Keep breathing. And we're calling in the angels. We've always got Archangel Michael for protection for each one of us. For any kind of clearing today, if you'd like to clear away some negativity, any earthbound spirits, any cords, attachments, anything that you've got that you might be carrying around that is not your own, or anything that you're ready to let go of. Might be old soul contracts, old karma, ancestral energy, lessons that no longer serve you. You might have some belief systems that are just not quite doing it for you anymore. It's okay to let them go. This is all yours. You are completely liberated today, as Charlie said. I want you to feel what you're wearing. This pirate, you've come in onto the shore. What do you got on? You might have a heavy coat. You might be carrying a sword, have heavy boots on your feet, hat on your head. Think about it. What do you got? You might even have a patch on your eye. For today, we are letting go of that heavy armor that we wear. So imagine yourself lifting off something. You might take off an eye patch or a hat. Just set it down on the shore. And if that feels okay and you want to release more, you can take off that heavy coat. It's nice and warm. Take off that heavy coat and just lay it down. Let's stand up now, if you're not already standing, and let's start to walk away from all of it. And as you're walking, don't look back, just look forward. Feel your feet right now, one step at a time. In every moment, you take one step. And if you still feel heavy, you can lay something else down. You might want to let go of a sword this time. We don't need a sword here. It's a very friendly beach. We're letting go of our fight. We're letting go of our fear. And as you do that, you can feel your energy begin to move. This energy comes up your legs and it comes into your spine. And it starts to work through all those energy centers in your body, and it gets them spinning, and they're throwing off blocks, and they're releasing old energy that's no longer serving, and you can feel it as it just flushes right back down into the earth. Every time you lay out your hands and your hands are releasing energy, it's coming out your feet. And every time when you step a little bit lighter. Those footsteps in the sand, they're getting more and more shallow all the time. To where you hardly even feel your feet touching the earth now. And see, we're transforming. So I want you to imagine now that on your back, you feel a flutter. What is that? Now that you've released all that heaviness, you can feel those wings coming out your back. Just like Tinkerbell. We're just going to learn how to fly today. Take another step. With every step, your feet come up higher and higher, and pretty soon they're not touching the earth. You can feel that flutter at your back as your wings start to spread out. Start to feel them in your shoulders. Move your shoulders around. Feel that energy across your back. It feels so good. And then start to work those wings. You can have any kind of wings you'd like. You might be a fairy. You might be a dragon. You might be an angel. You might be an eagle. Or a flying horse. Anything that you'd like. See those wings now. Start to flap them. Moving them, flapping. Feel so free. And I want you to just fly as high as you want to go. Feeling that freedom. There's nothing there to weigh you down now. You've let it all go. How high in the sky can you go? Would you like to go touch the clouds? Maybe you want to go see the moon. I was just talking about that last night. Oh, I'd love to go see the moon. Anyone that wants to go with me, let's go make a big circle around the moon. Keep those wings going. Just practice. Keep flying, flying. Look down on the earth. You see the blue water. Isn't it? The earth from outer space is so beautiful. There's no noise here. Completely silent. Now that you're in space, you can just rest those wings and float. You don't even have to work hard at it anymore. You can just kind of float around. I see you. I see Charlie doing the backstroke. He's just right on his back, sliding on by. Enjoy it. Enjoy this time. And take a big breath. Pull healing energy. Archangel Raphael just showed up. So just pull that healing energy into your heart. Let it go out through your body. wherever it's needed. So if you feel a discomfort or you have any kind of disease in your body, just send them in that direction. That's where we need the healing to go. If you have anyone that you want to send healing to, you can name them right now also. Your angels are listening. Big energy on the heart. Very good. Beautiful. Just releasing, letting go as you're flying. That negative energy is going away. You're up in a high frequency now. There is nothing that stays in a low frequency when you bring it into the light. It comes right with you. So those things, those worries and concerns, they came in with you and they just lit right up. They're all in the light now. They're not heavy anymore. You know that you have assistance, you have helpers around you always. Just ask. They wish that you would remember them. They truly do. Now I want you to begin to wiggle those wings again. We're going to start working our way down towards the earth. So feel yourself coming back in just a little. Just to come down, down, down. See the beautiful sky going by you right down through the clouds. You might feel a little moisture on your face. Doesn't that feel nice? Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Electra. I think I saw Lily. Lilac. Very nice. And now as you're coming down through the clouds, down towards the earth, you see it coming gently, gently. Back to the beach. Feel your feet touching that beach. Feel that dampness back under your feet. And as you curl up those wings, hide them back in there. We don't want the world to see our wings quite yet. Put them back in. And then I want you to just sit down carefully right there on the beach and just be still for a second. Feeling that lightness to your body. Feeling the joy, the love that fills your heart. Knowing that you are completely protected and cared for. And anyone that is receiving healing will continue receiving healing for however long it's needed. Allow yourself that. And then just feel Archangel Michael as he's swooping around each one of us, cutting any cords between us, and then completely wrapping you in the most beautiful, colorful aura. You're walking away with a rainbow aura today. Very beautiful. There is no pinpricks, there's no holes, there's nothing. So as you go out into the world today, you are completely protected, completely safe. You are in control. Only love in and only love out. Just repeat that. I'm not going to let that negative energy get to me today. Only love in, only love out. Now feel yourself coming completely back into physical. As you feel your feet and the energy coming up your legs. Mother Gaia thanking you for the exchange of energy today. And all of your angels and guides stepping back, saying thank you for allowing us today to give you the peace that you deserve. They're thanking you for letting go of all that negativity. Big breath. Very nice. Thank you to the angels and the guides. And to all of you for your higher selves, all of you that joined me today. I appreciate you so much. I needed this as much as you did. Thank you so much. And I will do my best to get back here tomorrow about the same time, 12:30. I will let you know ahead of time. Take good care of yourselves. Did I miss anybody? Sunshine, nice to see you. Linda, I think I said, if I didn't, hello. Let's see, what else did I miss? I think it popped me back up. You are so welcome. So welcome, Carol. Please enjoy your day today. Enjoy your Monday to the best of your ability. And you're welcome, Lisa. You're welcome, Lilac. I like your name, Lilac Pixie Dust. Looks like my kind of name. You're welcome, Melanie. I love you too, Lisa. Take good care, guys. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Bye, Charlie. Thank you. Wait, Linda. Just when I almost popped off. Beautiful healing energy. Thank you so much. You are welcome. So welcome. Come back again. Take good care, guys.